Nithyananda everyone, welcome back to the Bhavasmadhi Darshan. So now entering into the segment of glimpses of glorious past on this day Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, conducted 4-day experiential meditation program called Nithyananda Spurna program, and it was conducted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on May 24th to May 27th at Bengaluru Adinam. The program helped us to transform our understanding of life and death, learn to overcome all the fears and our insecurities, let go of guilt and painful memories, be healed of sleep disorders, and experience the joy of spontaneous living. Below are some of the photos taken during the program of the day one. Moving to the next year, the year of 2005, and on this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, speaks with the participant as they begin their Himalayan yatra and gave them the context to the journey which they are about to embark, as well as they explain some things which they have already done in their life. So in these glimpses from the Himalayan yatra, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam reveals that remembering the Master, consulting with him again and again is the right attitude to merge with him. Let us listen more from him.
Naturally, this guy shouts, this Narada. But this Jaya Vijaya, they are instructed. This PR1, the secretary is already instructed by Master. And now nothing can be done. Anyhow, the Narada says, I am not interested in waiting. I am straight away going. The problem is, when you work with Master, you should know how to imbibe his attitude. You can't work based on his words. You have to work based on his being. Only then you can really work with him. You must be so deeply connected. You must be totally open to the Master. Only then you will be able to catch his attitude. If you catch his attitude, you will never have a problem. If you don't catch his attitude, you will always have a problem, even if you follow his words. Even if you follow his words, you will have trouble. This Jaya and Vijaya, they caught only Vishnu's words. They have not caught the attitude. So they are in trouble. They stopped Narada, but Narada simply walked in. He did not bother. Then Jaya Vijaya started complaining. What? You are crossing us? How dare you are? Not only they stopped Narada, they did not even inform Vishnu. They could have at least, you see, two things. Either you should have enough intelligence to fall in tune with Master, or you should have a little bit of intelligence to go and consult with the Master at the time of trouble. If you do these two, you are saved. But these guys, neither they had intelligence to fall in tune with Master, nor they had enough intelligence to go and consult the Master when there is some new situation, when there is some trouble. These guys did not consult the Master. They simply said no to the Master and made him wait. Simply Narada cursed. Let you guys leave the Vaikuntha. Let you guys go on, take birth in Buloka and suffer as human beings. Then immediately both of them realized the power of Narada. They went and fell at the feet of Vishnu. After getting the punishment, these fellows go and fall at the feet of Vishnu. Little bit of intelligence, they could have avoided the whole trouble. Go and consult the Master, that's all. They could have avoided the whole trouble. But these idiots, by and by, they take the Master for granted. They think, after all, we know him. He only gave the instruction, standard instruction. Even if he asks, we can justify. The attitude that we know him, even if he asks, we can fight with him, is the attitude which will destroy you. All the disciples listen. If you have the attitude, we have been given a standard instruction, we can follow that, and even if he questions, we can fight with him with his own words. His attitude will destroy you. Either catch my thinking system, fall in tune with it, or every inch consult. Every inch consult without using your head. These are only two ways to save yourself. These guys, neither they had intelligence to fall in tune with the master, nor they had intelligence to consult him at the time of difficulties, at the time of new situation. And after having punishment, they went and fell at the feet of Vishnu. Oh, save us, we have been cursed. Anyhow, master has to take care. Even after all this trouble, he has to take care. Then he comes and says, all right, now you have two choices. Whatever has happened, we can't do anything. You have hurt the disciples' feeling. Now you have to suffer for that. But you have two choices. One, you can take 100 janmas in the planet Earth, be as my devotees and come back. Another one, you can take just 3 janmas in the planet Earth and be as my enemies and come back. What do you want? All these two guys, they choose, we will be your enemies because we don't want to be away from you for a long time. Even if they are enemies, it's okay. Only 3 janmas, 300 years. Otherwise, 100 into 100, 10,000 years. We can't tolerate that much of punishment. They choose to be enemies. Then they come down as a Hiranya and Hiranyaksha in one janma. In next janma, Ravana and Kumbhakarna. And in third janma, Sisubala and Kamsa. In 3 incarnations, in first they come down as a Hiranya and Hiranyaksha. Then the second they come down as a Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Third they come down as a Sisubala and Kamsa. And Lord comes as a incarnations of Narasimha, Rama and Krishna. They live as enemies and in the end they get liberated. The Krishna Avadara, there is a beautiful incident. When the Sisubala was killed, the Jyoti, a light, comes from Sisubala's body and straight away goes to the Krishna's feet and disappears. All the people who are seeing, they were shocked. They said, what is Krishna? What is happening? He is your enemy and his energy is merging into your being. His soul is disappearing into you. What is happening? Then Krishna reveals the whole story. And he says, these 2 guys are my securities. They have misbehaved with my devotees. Of course, the real devotees. Not so-called devotees. You see, the securities are made to stand there to stop the so-called devotees. There are a lot of so-called devotees. But the security should have intelligence to consult. Intelligence to know whether they are so-called devotees or real devotees. If they don't have the intelligence, at least the intelligence to consult with the master again and again. At least now we have intercom, cell phone, email, everything. In those days, I don't think all these things were there. Now we have everything. We can always consult with master. When we don't and do something, then trouble starts. He says, after all, they are my securities. So they did some mistake. They have been punished. They have come down with the attitude of enemy. Now they achieved what has to be achieved. So they are liberated. One more thing. Even as an enemy, when you remember Master, you are remembering him. That is the real thing. That is the real thing. So, there is two things. Remembering the Master through greed, remembering the Master through fear. Any way you can remember him, you will be liberated from both. How you remember Master through fear, how you remember him through greed, how you will be liberated through any one path will be discussed in the next session. Thank you.
Year of 2006, and on this day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, was on Himalayan Yatra with the delegates of Kailasa. Below are the glimpses from the day 3 of the Himalayan Yatra 2006, where Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism can be seen on a trek to Yamunotri, one in the Char Dham, the origin of the sacred river Yamuna, famous for its thermal springs and the glaciers, and it also houses a temple dedicated to goddess Yamuna. At Yamunotri, SPH can be seen offering Abhishekam to Mahameru. Moving to the year 2007, on this day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, conducted a session on unclutching. In the video clip, the SPH beautifully describes the process of enlightenment which happens at the zone of unclutching through the Jana story. This can only happen to being whose consciousness is ready to catch this zone. So in this discourse taken from the Shiva Sutras, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism talks about being centered. SPH in this video clip says that a person who can accept himself will have compassion towards himself. In all the movements, on the moments of shifting from one chakra to another or one emotion to other, we pass through the neutral space or the zone of unclutching. And it is in this zone you experience Shiva consciousness or the eternal bliss. So let us listen to this video by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
स्वभावचिन्मयानन्दं कृपापूर्णं जगत्पतिं हरिषड्वर्गजेतारं नित्यानन्दगुरु.
The same photograph was there in that program. One person asked me, what is this? You are blessing in that photograph. But usually when you walk into the room, you do namaskar. I bow down. In photograph it shows as if you are blessing. In reality you are doing namaskar. I said in both the activity I do the same. When I bow down or bless, for me it is one and the same. I don't feel I am big when I bless. I don't feel I am small when I bow down. I neither feel I am superior when I bless, nor feel inferior when I bow down. Both moments I am completely centered on me. Just by being centered, even if you bow down, you will awaken the sense of respect and feeling connected in the other person. If you bless, again you will invoke the same presence or energy into that other being. If you are not centered, the blessing will look very egoistic. I always tell people, if you are not centered inside, never allow people to touch your feet. Because if people start touching your feet continuously, it's like an addiction. It feels so good. Ego is so cunning. I have seen these off-gurus. Off-gurus does not need any other punishment because they will create their own hell. All they need is little time, that's all. They don't need any other punishment. They can't be without their hell. They will feel that they are missing something if they don't create their hell. Off-gurus are the most dangerous people for themselves and for others. If you are not danger for yourself, you will not be danger for others. If you are not danger for others, you will not be danger for yourself. Being danger is, whether for you or for others, is one and the same. All masochists will be sadists, all sadists will be masochists. If you are torturing yourself, you will be torturing others. If you are torturing others, you will be torturing yourself. Torturing is a quality. With you or with others, you will be same. Accepting will be quality. With you or others, it will be same. I always tell people, accepting others without judging is not morality. It's a spiritual technique for peace, for bliss. Person who can accept others without judgment will have that same compassionate, beautiful words and inner chattering towards themselves. Towards themselves also. Because you don't use two kinds of inner chattering. Even though inside your mind you believe, for others I will show different face and for myself I will be different. I will forgive all my mistakes. I will judge only others' mistake. No, you can't. You can't. You are not that intelligent. You are not that intelligent. Intellectually maybe you will be thinking, others I will have a different rule and torture and rule and judge and keep them all in track. For myself I will be different. No. Judge will be the prisoner. All judges will be with the internal prison. Inside, they will be constantly judging them also, themselves. They will be constantly judging themselves. You may think, no, I know, I can be a little intelligent. I judge others, but when it comes to me, I have my own game. No. Maybe superficially you are believing. If you have the attitude of judging, condemning others, you will be doing that unconsciously, continuously towards you also. It's a basic mental setup, the quality. It is not just with somebody you will be different and with you will be different. No. These off-gurus are dangerous people. When they raise their hand, they feel that they are superior, that they are blessing the others. When they bow down, they feel that they are inferior. They are lower than others. It means they are not balanced in all their actions. If you are centered, your very bowing down will be so graceful. It will create so much respect in others' mind. Being centered is the base of spirituality.
Svabhava-chinmayanandam.
Moving to the next year, the year of 2012, and on this day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam expounded on the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 34. And he said, Bhagavad Gita is a timeless treatise on the essence of living enlightenment. The Gita was imparted by the enlightened Hindu incarnation, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, to the warrior prince Arjun over 5,000 years ago. Wisdom and the life solutions offered in the Gita are so universal and current that it is even today used as a personal transformation. So in today's talk on the Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, verse 34, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism speaks on the importance of humility. When we relax into becoming humble, our receptivity opens and we are able to expand from every encounter. Even the trees and stones teaches us to experience their knowledge. We must drop into mode of receiving, of submission. This attitude of surrender raises us to the zone of divine consciousness as we connect deeply with all life and merge all awareness with the whole of universe. So let us listen the more truths, more knowledges from Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on this chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
Let's start our morning satsang. In Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, Jnanakarma Sannyasa Yoga, 34th verse.
Tatvidhi pranipatena pariprashnen sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninastatvadarshinaha.
Tatvidhi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. The translation: understand these truths by humble submission, through enquiry or by resorting to the one who has perceived. Experience the true and essential nature, and who will instruct you to that cognizance, who will transmit that experience to you. This verse is one of the popular verses of Bhagavad Gita. Tatvidhi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. It's a very powerful verse. Please understand the essence of enlightenment. Bhagavan says very beautifully, understand these truths by humble submission, through enquiry or by resorting to the one who has perceived. Experience the true essential nature, and who will transmit that experience to you. The key word in this whole sutra is pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya. I tell you, with humbleness and the attitude to imbibe, if you move, every stone tree will teach you. Forget about enlightened master teaching you. That will surely happen. But if you carry these two attitude of humbleness and attitude of learning, receiving, imbibing. Yesterday I was talking to one of our brahmachari. Casually I was mentioning how this whole Madurai Adinam is going to be rebuilt. We are going to make the whole thing into 5 floors. The opposite property also is going to become a 5-floor property, 5 floor. That's the maximum allowed limit by corporation. So we are planning. I was telling some of the minute details presented in Meenakshi temple architecture and Kashi Vishwanath temple. Actually, I wanted this place to be representing the whole India. So some of the minute details in Varanasi and Meenakshi temple, and there is a sun temple in Konark, Orissa, which has a huge wheel with 12 spokes. So I was talking about all these minute details, how this is going to be built. He was telling, how do you see all these details? Bless us also to get that. Please understand, so many people who live around me, whether they believe I am enlightened or incarnation or not, that is different. But all of them are baffled by my awareness and by my memory and the way I put things together. Seeing that everybody is shaken and baffled, that no doubt, it's non-controversial. Only my incarnationhood is controversial, but all the qualities of incarnationhood which I am expressing are non-controversial. It is non-controversial. It cannot be refuted. But I tell you really, keeping Shokkanatha and Meenakshi as a witness, I give you the secret of this quality. Understand? Humbleness and attitude of imbibing. When I look at the temple, when I look at an architecture, when I look at information, even when I take up a new book to read, I completely submit myself with the attitude of imbibing. Understand? People who live around me would have observed. Even if I get a new laptop or a machine, I'll hold it in my hand for a few seconds. With all humbleness I submit to imbibe you as part of me. Even newspaper or any book, people who living around me would have observed it. Anything I touch, first I surrender with humble submission, attitude of imbibing. Please understand, there are very few spiritual methods I myself practice. Still now, I practice. This is one of the method or attitude still I practice. I go on practicing. Since unclutching and all, I don't practice. I can't do also, that is different, because even to unclutch you need mind. I can't practice. And puja, I don't practice. But in this the Madurai Adinam tradition, I am supposed to do puja every day to the deity of Shiva and Meenakshi. So you should see how I do puja. It will be very funny. Morning I will sit with the deities and I will pour first the water and fall into samadhi. And then I will wake up and put the sandal and fall into samadhi. It will take at least 2 hours for me to complete the puja. I cannot practice puja, of course, because as a tradition I have to do, I am doing. That's different. I cannot practice unclutching. There are many methods and techniques. I cannot do ajapa japa. By the time I repeat the mantra second or third time, already in samadhi. But still I practice some things. That is humble submission. Understand? Then understand the importance of this process. Whether I am not talking about the humble submission, the attitude of imbibing you need to have in front of the Guru. No, that is secondary. I am not even talking about that. Have that attitude with everything. When you look at a building, have that attitude of imbibing. You will imbibe whatever you need to from that. You will be enriched. When you need, that file will come up, a book. Start with that attitude of imbibing. Whatever is your essence, let it be imbibed in me. Let it become part of me. That is why any knowledge, I am not talking out of ego, any knowledge, it can be any complicated, whether it is legal or auditing or HTML code, any knowledge, I can be 100% sure I can imbibe because I know how to imbibe. Go with the attitude of imbibing. Tadvidhi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya. Go with the attitude of humble submission. With anything. If you are going to a new culture, if you are going to a new place, if you are going to a new person, if you are going to a new book, if you are going to a new field, with anything, do not have prejudice. Something, these fellows are wrong, these fellows are right, this book is not right, this thought trend is not right, this philosophy is crime, this philosophy is right. Don't go with that prejudice. Go with that mood of submission, imbibing. I tell you, if you have this attitude of imbibing, even the terrorist philosophy, you will learn something right and good. But with the attitude of arrogance, even if it is the philosophy of enlightenment, you will make it arrogant and egocentric. I have seen people becoming egocentric, reading great Advaitic literatures, and people becoming enlightened, the worst terrorist books. George Gurdjieff is a flower out of the communist thorns. He was not given any enlightenment philosophy or Advaitic teachings. It's all the communist inputs. But with the attitude of imbibing, even from communism, he flowered as an enlightened being. I can give you 1000 examples, even from Advaitic literature, the egoistic fellows flowering. I tell you, attitude of imbibing. If you see, even now, if I get a new book in my hand, or a newspaper in my hand, or a magazine, anything before reading, you will see me stuck, pause for a few seconds. Only then I will start. Means, there are something which I practice even now. Of course, some things I practice, that muddy means that cleanliness, that hygiene. That is not spiritual practice. That is more like I have decided to maintain my hygiene, and for that I am practicing. Those things are different. But there are some spiritual practice I do. In that, this attitude of imbibing is one. Understand? It may be completely negative information book or something wrong, but even to that, I go with the attitude of imbibing. When you go with the attitude of imbibing, anything gives you enlightenment. Try to imbibe, try to have this. Try this as a process. It will be very funny in the beginning. Sit in the house, take half an hour, and decide mentally to pay your respect to every object which is in front of your eyes. Maybe the carpet, or the photograph, or the wall, or the chair, anything which is around you. Please understand, you can learn the habit of imbibing and submission only with the objects which are around you first. If you cannot respect, if you cannot humbly submit yourself in front of the chair which is in your house, or the shoes which are in your house, or the wall which are holding your roof, you cannot submit yourself to God. If you imagine God and imagine your submission, It will only be ego playing with ego, that's all. First try with something objective in front of you. Don't expect you should be humble only in front of divine objects. What is divinity? When you add humbleness, it becomes divine, that's all. So if you add humbleness, everything will become divine. Add humbleness to your life. Let the life itself become divine. Attitude of imbibing. Attitude of receiving. Even now, I go on practicing it. There are some practices which is supposed to be done even beyond enlightenment. There are some you can't do beyond enlightenment. Unclutching, ajapa, ajapa, all this you can't do beyond enlightenment. There won't be, it is not possible because the frequency is so different, you won't be able to do. But this attitude of imbibing, actually attitude of imbibing is radiating enlightenment. Unclutching, ajapa, ajapa, and all is living enlightenment. Once you become enlightened, over. But enlightenment constantly exploding happens only with the attitude of imbibing. Only with the attitude of imbibing, enlightenment goes on happening in you. Whether I sit in front of TV, I may be watching only the news. Even then you will see for a moment, I'll remind myself to the attitude of humble submission and imbibing. I tell you, by humble submission and imbibing, you will never be a fool, you will never be cheated. You will only imbibe exactly what is required. You will never be cheated. The attitude of imbibing. If you go with that attitude, every stone will become God. Every person will become God. Every object will become God. Everything will become divine. I tell you, one of the important ingredient in my life for my joy is attitude of imbibing with everything. With everything, I tell you. When you are in the attitude of imbibing, anything merges in you. But when you are with the attitude of arrogance, you are broken and made to merge with others. I tell you the secret. The life, if you are with the attitude of imbibing, merges into you and enriches you. If not, it breaks you and swallows you. The same teeth of the cat is death for the rat and holding jaw for kitten. The same teeth does not hurt the kitten, but it kills the rat because the instruction given from behind. Life as the teeth with the imbibing mood, it will be protecting you. With the attitude of arrogance, it will be killing you. Please understand. With the attitude of imbibing, see how beautifully this whole Madhurayadhyam responsibility I have imbibed, and it has only enriched me. All these fights have not taken away 1 inch of my confidence. My confidence only has grown. This fight, this struggle, nothing. It has not touched me at all. Not even one moment I felt, why did I come and take this responsibility? No. Anybody else would have felt, what am I lacking? Dhyana Pidam has everything. Why do I need to come and sit here? Actually, the real fight is, they know I represent the national religion. That is where the fight is. Understand? It is so unfortunate, one segment of Tamilians, especially deep south, does not want to mix with the mainstream India. It is that struggle. They know I represent the mainstream India's religion, about which they are afraid. These fools are talking, I don't know, Shaivism. And not only that, they know I represent a huge possibility and new updation. I also wanted to announce that 4 places, the hospitals are starting, the places, everything has been finalized, and furnitures are getting bought. Furnitures and machineries are landing. We are expecting by June 5th, we will announce the inauguration of all 4 hospitals. 20-bedded hospitals. 4 20-bedded charitable hospitals. Each hospital is 20-bedded, 2 doctors and 4 nurses. All the basic facilities and the life-saving medical care will be available within this June 5th. And they know the speed with which we will work. And I represent the collective sentiments of all the Hindus. There is a very famous Vishnu temple, Alagar temple, Kallalagar temple. That deity only gathers largest gathering of South India. Please understand, largest gathering in South India is 1 crore people gathering for the Kallalagar appearing in Vaigai temple, Vaigai river. That's the largest gathering of human beings in South India. In North India is Kumbh Mela. This is almost like South Indian Kumbh Mela. After the coronation, I went to the temple to offer my respect. Usually I go there to Kailasa temple, but after the coronation I went there to offer my respects and devotion, prayers. The temple authorities have told me, Swamiji, you are the first Shaiva Mutt head entered our premises. Can you imagine? No, please understand. No, I am not happy about it. I am not happy about this information. Can you imagine? He says, I am here as the in charge for last 50 years. He's an elderly person. 50 years, the chief priest. He says, neither my father ever told me, nor I have ever seen a single Shaivite mutt head entering this campus. Do you understand the subsect divisions with which we are suffering? And it is not somewhere far. And it is not the unpopular temple. Actually, I told Tirumala Devasthanam, Tirupati temple authorities that I am coming. They said, we will receive you with all the respects. You are the first Shaivite Mutt head who wants to come here. I am actually going after the Guru Puja, June 5th. Actually, 292 Guru Mahasanidhanam is very open person. He is not the fanatic type. I asked Swamiji, the Alagar temple, they said that I am the first Shaivite Mutt entered the temple. Even you never visited, Swamiji. He said, my predecessor told me not to go, so I did not go. Then I went, Swamiji. He said, that is nothing wrong. You please go ahead. Nothing wrong. I won't say you should not go and all. It is perfect. Go and come. But because my predecessor told me I don't want to break his word, so I am not going. See, that is his Guru Bhakti. That's different. But what I am saying, how can I could not imagine how we are suffering with the subsect problems. Only these type of that subsect fanatics are opposing me. Nobody else. And actually they have given a press meet saying why I should not be in this Pita. They have given 3 reasons. He worships Vishnu also. He talks on Bhagavad Gita. Really? These are all the reasons they have given. I said, oh God, where are we heading? I know for sure. Now by going to Tirumala temple, I am going to create a big controversy. If I enter a church or mosque, there won't be a problem. But if I enter a Tirumala temple, there will be a problem. Can you imagine? But I am going to go. I also said, in all our temples, Vishnu will be there. In all our temples, Rama and Krishna will be there. In all our temples, Bhagavad Gita will be chanted. So it is time we unite and represent the national sentiments. Jnana Sambandar himself, who is the founder of this mutt, has travelled length and breadth of the country. Went up to Kedarnath, sang about the Kailasa, Manasarovar. They all know. I will do 2 things. One, I will make the whole, this Madhurayadinam, into a living, spiritual, national organization. Of course, international, that is different. Say, geographically we will be having centers internationally. Philosophically, I will represent the whole national sentiments. Why they are opposing me? How I should break the whole thing? And in the Vedic tradition, there is an important thing. Whenever an enemy comes with a vyuha, plot strategy, whenever an enemy comes with a plot strategy, first thing you are supposed to do is humble submission, and with the imbibing mood you are supposed to approach. With the worshipful mood, prayerful mood, you are supposed to approach the enemy's plot strategy. When you go with that mood, the plot strategy itself gives you the method, the technique, ability to break itself. Our Swamiji 292 is very broad-minded person. During the Hindu-Christian riot in Kanyakumari, he went and stayed there for 4 months and sorted out the problems. He has done so many wonderful things. But even he has not stepped into one Vishnu temple. Can you imagine? You see, if he is also a close-minded or the old orthodox fanatic person, then we can say, okay. He is not that type. He is a very open person, broad-minded person, highly educated, and worked a lot for the Vedic tradition, and he's raised his voice many times, supporting the Hindu causes. Just actually 3 days before, the Ramdev Baba's trust was taxed, declared as a commercial trust. So for that, I gave a statement opposing that move and supporting Ramdev Baba. The moment Swamiji heard, he said, hey, add my name also. The moment he heard, he immediately said, add my name also. Why you did not add my name? I said, Swamiji, I did not know that whether you will be willing to support this. He said, no. In future, any statement you give, add my name also. Very open person, very progressive person. But even he could not step in to the Vaishnava temple. I was really surprised. Then understand some of the dirt with which Hinduism is suffering. Please understand. Now I am not criticizing them. I am self-criticizing. I am not criticizing those opposing groups now. Now it is not the time to criticize. Now it is time to feel as one body suffering. But I assure everybody, I will continue to represent national sentiments and create international organization. I tell you, even in front of enemy's plot strategy, Vyuha, in the Vedic tradition, in Mahabharata, there are so many different plot strategies are explained. Bhatma Vyuha, Chakra Vyuha, Chandra Vyuha, Agni Vyuha, so many plot strategies are explained. Even in front of your enemy's plot strategy, go with the attitude of imbibing. It will save your life. It will make you experience the truth. It will give you the highest possibility. Tatviddi pranibadena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Please understand. I am not now talking about going to a master with a humble submission and attitude of imbibing. To go to an enlightened being, these two are basic quality for you. Without that, if you go, you will learn. That is different. I am not even talking about that. That is only secondary. I am talking about bringing these two qualities in your life every moment. With every action, every second. Imbibe this attitude of submission and attitude of imbibing.
Paramahamsa Nithyananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nithyananda has been placed alongside
तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महासेनाय धीमहि तन्नः षण्मुखप्रचोदयात् शुभ्रह्मण्योऽगुं शुभ्रह्मण्योऽगुं शुभ्रह्मण्यो
शरवण भव ॐ नित्य शरवण भव ॐ गुरु शरवण भव ॐ गुरु शरवण भव ॐ नित्य शरवण भव ॐ नित्य शरवण भव ॐ गुरु शरवण भव ॐ गुरु शरवण भव ॐ मंगल गौरी शंकरनंदन मंगल गौरी शंकरनंदन मंगल गौरी शंकरनंदन मंगल गौरी शंकरनंदन नित्य शरवण भव ॐ
Moving to the next year, the year of 2013, on this day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, in presidential address, Nithyananda Satsang, instructed on how to live the four principles. He reminded us that these truths are for all of us to embody and not just for some to teach to others. SPH also answered the questions on healing karmic patterns and fears. To resolve karma with the departed, the ceremony of the Shraddha can grant completion. Shraddha is especially effective if performed at Bodh Gaya, Babri, Badri, Manasarovar, and at Nityananda's North America Temple in Ohio. To resolve deep-seated fears, we must go to the root of our fear and complete with it. Many devotees make the mistakes of either accepting the item by fear as inevitable or trying to deny their fear. Both are unsuccessful and result only in emphasizing the fear pattern. Moving to the next year, the year of 2004, on this day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, in the presidential address Nithyananda Satsang from Varanasi, he expanded on living Advaita, specifically how Advaita can be a crisis management strategy. He pointed out that each of us is fighting our own Mahabharat war, and when we are in the state of completion, our anxiety is reduced and we can see who really wants to fight and who really has been influenced by induced enmity. This understanding is arrived at by deep contemplation and always being in the state of non-violence. So moving to the next year, the year of 2004, and we'll watch some of the initiation that Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted on this day.
Open the bag and pick up the Atmalinga. So, Hreem, Sa, Kha, Ha, La, Hreem, Ha, Kha, Sa, Kha, Ha, Hreem. Sit with your eyes closed, Atmalinga on your Anandagandha. Atmalingaya Namaha. Shivaya Nama. Om Ham Hum 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 Shivaya Nama. Om Ka Ye La Hrim Ha Sa Ka Ha La Hrim Sa Ka La Hrim. Lingaya Namaha. Shambhavi Mahakala Bhairava Maheshwari Mahadeva Mangala Swarupini Tripuranayaki Jagannmata Tripura Bhairavi Tripureshwari. Om Ka Ye I La Hrim Ha Sa Ka Ha La Hrim Sa Ka La
वेदरूपिणी हिमगिरिवासिनी मनोन्मणिनाशिनी त्रिभुवनपोषिणी विशेषिणी ज्ञानदायिनी नित्यानन्देश्वरि सर्वेश्वरि नित्यनित्येश्वरि करुणसागरि नेत्रसुन्दरि कन्याकुमारी कामनाशिनी सुभाषिनि विश्वरूपिणी नित्यानन्देश्वरि
So we'll move to the next year, the year of 2016, and on this day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, gave his divine darshan and blessings to the delegates of the Shuddha Advaitam Convention held amidst Kumbh Mela, the world's largest gathering, a Hindu pilgrimage in which seekers from all over the world gather to bathe in the sacred river of the locations of the Kumbh Mela. The delegates had the great fortune of offering the Pushpa Abhishekam and Pratyakshapada Puja to Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Pushpa Abhishekam is an offering of shower of flower as gratitude. Pratyakshapada Puja is a rare opportunity to express one's gratitude directly at the feet of Master. Surrendering to the sacred feet of Guru is the most beautiful and ultimate happening, without which everything else seems futile. He dissolves all the karma as he is the very first embodiment of existence. Let us catch more glimpses from this day through this short video in the Times magazine.
Nithyananda Parashiva Shiva Murahara Namar Bache Jaya Jagadodharana Jaya Nitya Jagadishwara Harana Sri Nitya Jaya Nitya Harini.
बहुत अच्छा लगा. So he is seeing the first time this kind of ashram in the Ujjain, and he is really very happy seeing this kind of ashram.
कालेश्वर को जल चढ़ा रहा है ऐसा लगा.
So he is enjoying the decorations of the deity, and after doing the Abhishekam he feels like he did really to the Mahakaleshwar. That kind of experience he is getting.
दक्षा मेहता सोमनाथ वेरावल. अच्छा वो सोमनाथ करे ऐसा ही लगा. ज्योतिर्लिंग है पहला सोमनाथ, इसलिए अच्छा लगा यहाँ ज्योतिर्लिंग का दर्शन करने.
So she had the experience just like the having the darshan of Somanatha. She feels like she did Abhishekam to Somanatha, situated in the Gujarat. She inquired a lot of people how to go to Swami Nithyananda, and after getting, she came here after a lot of efforts. So she is really enjoying, very happy being here. Just by being in the presence of all the deity, she is experiencing the peacefulness of the mind.
जानना चाहता हूँ और बताना चाहता हूँ.
He is very happy and he want to say that our Sanatan Hindu Dharma should be shown like this, and it should be told to everybody in this way. This is the way that it should be told to whole humanity.
Nithyanandam, I am Nalidharaswamy Balasubramaniam from Malaysia. I came here on the April 16th, being introduced by my sister Lata, and we celebrated the things. Every day is a celebration here, one or the other initial days, and with Swamiji I tell you, my goodness, we are living in this breathing place, so gifted. He was so close to us. My goodness, the number of people come here, very, very, very authentic people. You can see what respect is from them. They put even the baspam and then kungumam, the tilak. They finish the temple design, they will go for a dining. The food is served from so long, and we enjoy serving food. And people take up the volunteer for so many things. And to be frank, I am very, very new. When Swamiji has given the Diksha, we can say there are so many million people, but we are gifted. We can't say fully. Within few hours, we can read 1, 2, 3. And some people have read a whole novel into it. Elevation was a very good experience for us. When Swamiji said, I felt like moving. He said, you'll be sitting and you will know the experience. I literally had the elevation experience in my first time in my life. It has been amazing experience, and for all, on behalf of all of our people here, I give a pretty thanks to Swamiji. Thank you.
Moving to the next year. The year of 2017, and on this day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, during the presidential address, Nithyananda Satsang said, if I just see the last 39 years of my life on planet Earth, what is the action activity I have spent maximum time? Not yoga, surely not talking to yogis and taking class, not doing Sangha activities, not doing meditation. At least equivalent time I have spent on all these activities that I spent on puja. Sometimes 11 hours or 15 hours at a stretch, I'll sit and do the puja. So here, further Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism elaborated in this truth and shared his personal experience. saying that the fruit of puja is devotion and the fruit of devotion is the puja. Let us listen more on this from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
नित्यानन्देश्वर सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वर्यादिशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Shri Mahants, Sarvangjapita Yajamans, Thanedar Kotari, visitors, viewers, sitting with us through Nithyananda TV, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, all over the world, in various ashrams, centers, adhinams, temples, having Nayana Diksha through two-way video conferencing. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Today I'll speak on one of my very favorite subject, puja. If I just see last 39 years of my life on the planet Earth, what is the activity in which I have spent maximum time? Not yoga, surely not talking to you guys and taking class, not doing Sangha activity, not doing meditation, at least equivalent of the time I spent on all these activities, I spent on puja. Sometimes 11 hours or 15 hours at a stretch I'll sit and do puja. Understand, I may promote the Shaivite rituals, Agamic rituals, but I myself was Sakta. I practiced Shakta tradition, Sakta Sampradaya, means worshipping Devi. Basically, I received Bhuneshwari Vidya from my Guru, Vipudanandapuri, after I had darshan of Devi appearing, and I made the deity of Devi with my own hand in a stone variety called soapstone. In Tamil they say Mavakkal. It is a kind of a...
So I request all the viewers that you can watch this full video and get more deeper insights into the puja, the devotion on Nithyanandapedia. You can go to nithyanandapedia.org and go check for this date, 24th May 2017, or you can directly go to YouTube, official YouTube channel of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and search for the fruits of puja is devotion and the fruit of devotion is puja. So moving to the next year, the year of 2018, and on this day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, expounded on the cosmic principles of Nithyananda mission during the Everyday Life public talk, Nithyananda Satsang. In this talk, entitled Nithyananda as He Is, History with Evidence, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared while looking at early photographs and the articles from 2003. That from the moment he was born, he started the work of his mission. Looking back, he exclaimed that all these collected items are evidences that he was what he is teaching now. He started living from the beginning. He shared he was clear about his mission, his vision from the moment he is born. You can get the more glimpses of this day on Nityanandapedia, and I must say that you should spend time. You'll spend hours of time on this page if you go to Nityanandapedia, 24th May 2018, and there is a lot to learn from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism while he was sharing about the history with evidences and how he was very clear about the mission and the vision from the time he started the Sangha itself. Moving to the year 2019, on this day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, shared a Facebook post announcing building of Jiva Samadhi Mandapam for his Guru, Arunagiri Yogeshwara. At all Adinams, wherever space is available, photos were shared of worship at Adi Kailasa, Biddi, Bengaluru Adinam in Karnataka. The message that he shared on the Facebook is that this is for all the Adinam. I have decided that as my gratitude to my Guru Arunagiri Yogeshwara, we will build his Jiva Samadhi Mandapam for him at all Adinams, wherever the place is available. It will be exact replica of the Mandapam built at Jiva Samadhi of Arunagiri Yogeshwara, built at Kailasa in Adi Annamalai, which was inaugurated on 18th May 2019 on my enlightenment day. We will put sapling of sacred banyan tree for the mandapam, and all the adinams which have places should build the mandapam in granite stone and gold paint. If they have banyan tree already, build the mandapam under it and put a sapling of banyan tree. Let at least 10 adinams do it immediately. Moving to the year 2020, on this day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, expounded the cosmic principle from Sarvanyanottara Agama during the Everyday Life public talk, Nithyananda Satsang. In this talk entitled Subramanya learning from Paramashiva, no questions, Paramashiva only understand his vision for me. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed what Paramashiva gave to Subramanya. SPH expounded the importance of knowing the inner space of Subramanya in order to understand his line of question, from where you start matters. SPH worked further on raising the consciousness of delegates by bestowing them with the Ganesha Bhava Darshan for the day. So with this, we will move. We come to the end of today's segment of Bhava Samadhi Darshan, and now it's time. Let's get ready to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with the alive satsang. So we'll be entering into the Nityananda satsang.
Paramashiva's message directly from Maha Kailasa. Listen. Superconscious mutation is literally experiencing Paramadvaita spontaneously, simultaneously, and manifesting the energies of Paramadvaita synergetically. It is beyond initiation, Shaktipada, Shaktinipada.